All right, we are live. Episode 18 of the All American Valley Boys podcast. Just gonna wait for this thing to
Wait for
load.
this Johnson.
Wait for this Johnson. It'll be good to go.
We talk about the minute mark or so.
We need to get ready for these topics. What
Some fire topics today. I mean,
you want to go? You want to go over them? You know, just a little list.
yeah, we're going to talk about the college football playoff drama that happened yesterday and Friday. We're going to talk about all the conference championship games that affected all that. Then we're going to go off our we're going to give our opinion on who should win the Heisman after all these games this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about the Pistons' historically bad season so far. I think they've won, 2 games?
2-18.
Yep. And then we're going to talk about Orlando Magic being a young, surprising team. They're the second in the East right now.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give our updated MVP list. We're going to talk about the Dallas Mavericks yesterday. They went on a 30-0 run yesterday.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That's kind of sad that you can't score 0 points. What's up?
So what's up, fellas?
What's up, David?
What's going on, David?
And then we're talking about Blake Corum scoring, having the most touchdowns in Michigan history.
He's close to it.
He's tied, but no
Yeah.
matter what, he's
Mm-hmm.
got it.
He cemented himself.
Yep. And then Justin Herbert, should he leave the Chargers because they suck? And I feel like his career is being wasted. Then the last topic is going to be the NCAA playoff prediction on who's going to be the champion and who's going to win the semifinal games.
Okay.
So it's kind of going to be our little bracket thing, except with 4 teams.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So who's that? Should we get going?
Yeah, we can get going on that first topic.
So, shout out Lions.
Yes.
24-3 right now. Let's hope they
24-7. 24-7 for the Lions.
sorry. Messed up. My bad.
But still up by 17. Huge bounce back for the Packers last week. Jesus.
Just got to close the game.
Got to close it out.
All right. So starting off with the college football playoff drama. We should start off with,
Bracket was made today. Yes.
and the order is Michigan with the 1 seed, Washington in the 2, Texas in the 3, and Bama in the 4. And
Followed by
FSU in the 5.
Florida State and then Georgia at the 6.
Yeah, I'm just going to start off firing hot. Okay.
Okay.
The SEC sucks off the college football playoffs so much. If an SEC team shouldn't be in there, the college football playoffs freak out and they find a way to get them in. Example, Alabama. I call it the Nick Saban effect. I didn't think they were a very great team this year, or that they performed like they should have made the playoff because they weren't very good early on. And to be honest, they didn't play exactly great later on in the season. They just beat Georgia. That's all they did.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have a cream puff schedule. I don't know. I don't want to hear about this SEC stuff. It's so tough. It's such a tough conference. Then why does Georgia never play anybody? And why does Alabama never play anybody besides LSU? And don't hit me with Tennessee's a good team. They're not. They got a quarterback who overthrows everything. You can throw the ball 80 yards, but you can only throw it. But if he overthrows it by 10 yards, then does it really matter?
Nope.
No. And I want to compare this to a recent thing in history that happened 2 years ago in the college football playoffs. Cincinnati made the college football playoffs with a 13-0 record. And the only team they really beat that year was Notre Dame. They were the number 8 team in the country, and then they beat Houston, that was the number 15 or 14.
They're okay, yeah.
But Houston wasn't a great team.
Mm-hmm.
So how come they made it? But FSU does what Cincinnati literally did.
Yep, same scenario.
They literally went undefeated. And FSU, I'd say that they played better competition. LSU, they killed them early on in the year. 20
Oh,
plus.
yeah, that was crazy.
First game at a
45.
neutral site.
45-24.
No home field advantage.
That's solid.
Yep. And what's it called? They beat Florida at the Swamp with
Without-
their backup quarterback.
Yes.
So I don't want to hear about this. They don't have their their star quarterbacks hurt.
They also beat a solid Louisville team in the conference championship. Yep. Like Louisville is
Not a bad team.
like they're not bad. Like, you know, if you only watched the Kentucky game last week, they're bad. But the whole season, like Louisville's been pretty good. Louisville's been really good.
So how come Cincinnati 2 years ago could do that with really just Desmond Ritter and Sauce Gardner? To be completely honest here, how come they make it 2 years ago, but a team like FSU, who has a lot of talent all around, doesn't make it because of their quarterback being injured? I got the answer for you. SEC bias. Because 2 years ago, the teams that were in it were Georgia at the 1, Michigan at the 3. No, it was Georgia at the 2.
Alabama was at the
3,
1.
Alabama was at the 1. Cincinnati was at the 4. So they already had 2 SEC teams in there, so the college football playoffs didn't have to worry. So I'm convinced the SEC is doing some stuff. And at the end of the day, this is all just business for the NCAA. They don't actually care who wins or who, well, they care about SEC.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to make the most money they can.
It's
And,
true.
The SEC teams produce the most money. So that's a big reason why Alabama's in.
It's true. Get the biggest recruits, biggest NIL deals, you name it.
Yeah.
It's at the SEC.
I think it all stems on a business perspective of it instead of who's an actual better team or who should be deserving of it. Because if I hear people on the internet saying that it should be the best team, not the most deserving, then why do we even have a regular season? Because we're just going to go off the best team
Yeah, we might as well play college football championship week 1.
right away. Yeah, there's no point in even playing a
There's
season.
no point in playing the season.
And then another thing, Alabama lost early on in the year to Texas, and they did not look good in that game.
Nope.
But I guess people just forget about early on in the season. If you're going to lose late in the season, I guess it doesn't matter. Or no, if you're going to lose early.
Lose early. Lose the first game, win the rest.
Because if you lose late like Georgia did, then you're bounced out of the playoffs.
Yeah, that was crazy to me. Georgia going from 1 to 6. That is wild. Like a team that dominated all year, 29 game win streak, back-to-back champions.
It doesn't. It's so weird.
Such a good resume for Georgia. And just it's all away because Alabama beat them by 3 points.
Yep.
In a championship game.
Imagine hearing your coach tell you, "Hey guys, we got the team to go undefeated. If we go undefeated, we will make the playoffs." They're the number 4 team all year, number 4 team in the country all year, and they don't lose a game. They don't lose at all, and they go down a spot.
It's kind of like what we were talking about with when Ohio State just randomly jumped Michigan.
Yeah, no, they jumped Georgia too. They went to 1.
Yeah, they just jumped to Georgia. Like
It made no sense.
what they do. Like winning 1 game apparently is just like you just move up 1,000 spots.
I think it's horrible, and I think it's probably a good thing that the college football playoffs is expanding to 12.
That's true. A lot of people were saying this would be the emergency 18 because this would be a solid 18 bracket. Like the 7 is Ohio State. The 8 is, I don't even know, but it's pretty
I think
solid.
it's Oregon.
Oregon. Jesus, bro. Like that'd be awesome 8-team bracket.
But yeah, I don't think they made it. They're doing 12 teams because they're trying to, make it better for people to get into the playoffs. I think it's again money. Another money thing. You can stick in more SEC teams.
And there's
Because Missouri is the 9th.
it's also more games that are huge as well. Maybe a 12-team makes a run.
Yeah.
Just.
But I think it's not because they're trying to actually make football better. I think it's because they're trying to make more money. And it's so blatantly obvious. They don't actually care about who is the better team. They care about who will make the most money for them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with, I think it can relate to before pre-NIL. College players were getting suspended or getting, they couldn't make anything off their own image, name, anything like that. Because the NCAA is a bunch of greedy douchebags. It's stupid. I'm furious because, the NCAA is just does this.
And FSU really deserve that.
They have a good team.
Their defense, defense wins championships. You don't really need a solid quarterback to go all the way.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it with Alabama. Jalen Milroe is not very good. I'll tell you that right now.
Well,
straight up.
He's solid, but he doesn't play a complete game. He always just messes. He makes big critical mistakes. Yesterday, what I noticed is he takes a lot of sacks on downs or on parts in the field where you shouldn't. He took a sack at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, he was getting saved by that Isaiah Bond, who made the game-winning catch against Auburn.
Yep.
He has been saved the past 2 weeks by that guy.
Yeah, Yeah, it's like 2nd and 6 on the or 3rd and 6 on the 30-yard line. So you're in field goal range.
Mhm.
He takes a 10-yard sack. So they're out of field goal range. So now they have to punt. That's the type of stuff that he's not good at. He's a good quarterback, in my opinion, but he overthrows the ball a good amount of times. Very inconsistent with his accuracy, and then he takes too many sacks at bad times. You should just throw it away or
And
something else.
And being undefeated, conference championship. I mean, it's a pretty darn good resume. I don't understand why undefeated and 12-1 gets over undefeated.
Yep, I'm surprised they didn't pull Texas out of it. I thought they were gonna do something, man, where they find a way to get Georgia in to make even more money.
Yeah, that would be.
They're about to try to find a way to do that. Honestly, that FSU guys screwed. That's just how it is. I mean, because if Alabama did that, they were 13-0 and didn't make it in. There'd be some upset fans.
There'd be a lot of upset fans.
Mm-hmm. How do you win every single game and still not make college football playoffs? I mean, you're by far a top 4 team all year.
Mm-hmm.
Because your quarterback gets hurt. That's the reason why you guys don't get into the playoffs.
It's not like Jordan Travis. Like he's good and all, but there's a lot more pieces on that FSU team
Did they have so many
kind of made Jordan Travis who he is.
They have superstars on the offense that would make any quarterback better. Jordan Travis is a great quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but it does have a lot. It's very helpful when you have Keon Coleman out there.
Top 10 prospect and going into the NFL draft.
He's a top 3 receiver in the country.
Yes,
I'll say that.
He's 6'4". They got another transfer from South Carolina. He's been ridiculous this year.
Yep.
The run game has looked fantastic.
And like you said, their defense
has been ridiculous the past 2 weeks.
Because they've had to.
Yeah.
And so why wouldn't that give more of a incentive for them to make the playoffs? Because it shows that their defense can play good defense. That just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I say we should give our thoughts on these conference games. So we're just going to talk about more the Power 5, honestly.
So we'll start with Friday. Yeah.
Washington, Oregon on Friday. That game was a nail biter. Washington got off to a good start, but then they have been. They've been getting off to good starts, but they choked the leads. Thankfully, they got the ball with the last possession and scored for them. But I mean, they are not as impressive as people think. Their defense is just not good.
Yeah, if you're a Washington fan, you got to be scared going into the playoffs because you've seen Quinn Ewers this past week, against Oklahoma State. We'll get to a full recap of it, but Quinn Ewers was crazy offensively in the first half and finished off crazy. So that's got to scare you as a Washington fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's just in the Pac-12 they don't play defense, especially. They really don't play defense.
Yeah, they really do not play defense. That's why they lose in the college football playoff every time they go in.
Same like the Big 12 schools. I mean, Texas actually plays defense though.
Yeah, Texas plays a little defense,
and that's why they won their conference. Their offense was great, but their defense was pretty good too. I'm not going to say just as good, but they were good. They have a good defense.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so I mean, we're going to still talk about the Pac-12 game. Sadly, it's the last Pac-12 championship ever.
Well, Washington fans, I've seen a couple signs. Pac-12 champions forever.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess it's pretty good bragging, right?
The reigning Pac-12 champions forever.
Forever.
I mean, that really is just the truth. Hasn't settled in yet. There's going to be 18 teams in the Big Ten and 16 teams in the SEC. It's going to be a Power 4.
Yep, it's crazy, and it's starting to happen slowly. But Washington, I got to give them their props. It's an impressive win to beat Oregon twice.
100%.
Bo Nix, the guy.
It's tough to beat a team once, let alone twice.
Yeah, a guy who, a team that, I thought could get it done, Oregon, and, get into the college football playoffs. But, they just, I don't know, man. Oregon they just folded both those games.
Yeah. And then moving on to Saturday, so yesterday.
So, yeah,
I think we have to talk about the Texas-Oklahoma State game.
Yeah, mercy.
It was not even close.
Oh, yeah, start to finish.
Quinn Ewers was dominant. The offense was just on fire. They're clicking like crazy.
It was crazy.
Oklahoma State's defense is just trash. Straight up.
I mean, when you throw for 350 yards and 4 touchdowns in the first half, there's a
Yeah.
sign that your defense is not
I don't
doing
know.
its job.
Hear me out, though. Out of the Power 5 schools, of like the Power 5 championships, Oklahoma, I think, was the worst team out of all of them.
Oklahoma State, yeah.
Oh, Oklahoma State, yeah, you know what I meant. But
Yeah.
I thought Iowa was a better team. I thought Louisville was a better team. So honestly, it's kind of weird. Texas had a huge jump from 7 to 3. But they beat the worst team in the conference championship. So I mean, I don't
Well,
know.
the only reason I think they did that was because of Bama's win. Because they like in the past they've really valued head-to-head matchups
Yeah.
when it comes to that last week. And since Bama beat Georgia, you can't just put Texas behind Alabama. They
Well,
clearly
yeah.
beat them double digits in Tuscaloosa. Like that is
That's why Texas jumped to the 3. If Alabama didn't win, it'd be Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Washington 3, and then FCU 4. Easy.
FSU probably before.
No contention.
Nope, nothing would have happened.
But since an SEC school had to slip in, because they had to make sure they got 1,
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't put Alabama at 1 in place of beating Georgia.
And then if you snub Texas after all that,
It'd be crazy.
that would be the most ridiculous thing I've
Hey man,
ever
I'm gonna say
seen.
they value head-to-head matchups in favor of the SEC schools. It's so blatantly obvious. It's just crazy seeing.
Mhm.
They got robbed. It's not even funny. Like FSU, they got robbed. But I mean, yeah, there's not really too much to talk about for the Texas game. Quinn Ewers was just crazy. The defense was solid. I want to talk about Alan Bowman though, because he played at Michigan for a little bit. Yeah, same issues that he had everywhere else he played. He turns the ball over too much. He slings it, but he turns the ball over way too much. His season stats going into the game were 10 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. They relied heavily on that running back. Good amount throughout the game.
Yeah, isn't he pretty good? He's pretty good.
Yeah, no, he's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, then moving on to the 4 o'clock game. Actually, no, I want to talk about Toledo and Miami of Ohio since that hits close to home.
Okay,
That hits close to home.
man.
Miami of Ohio balled out.
Beat
20
Toledo.
24 to no, it was like 25 to 14 or something like that.
No, 26-14.
Yeah,
I
but
would say.
yeah, Miami of Ohio their defense is actually pretty good. I was watching that. Like their defense is not a slouch.
The thing is, Toledo was the team to beat. Winning 11 straight games is pretty darn good.
I know we're talking about the MAC right now, but
Yeah, but
the game was played at Ford Field, so that's why I thought we talk about it. But yeah, no, that Miami of Ohio coach is actually good. I'm not gonna lie. He was piecing up Toledo's offense. He had them in a box. But yeah, I mean, just wanted to give the Miami of Ohio their props.
yeah, just because
But yeah, now
conference championship game, it's pretty.
but moving on to the Georgia Alabama game. Carson Beck is so bad. He's terrible. You can tell he's never been in a big time situation ever in his career.
Yes,
Then the one good time he has a big situation, he folds.
and what's crazy is, that's why I've been saying this is Michigan's year to win it, because Stetson Bennett did his job perfectly. It was so perfect.
He was a veteran, so he knew what he was doing.
He knew it. I mean, he was there for like 6 years,
Yeah,
but
he was like 25.
still, he did his job right. And Carson Beck, I knew it was going to be a problem. He's a sophomore, had seen no game action whatsoever,
Yeah.
and your only weapon really is Brock Bowers. I mean, all they had to do was double him, and
The running back in Milton's pretty good.
he is, yeah.
But, when you put 8 in the box, it's kind of hard to get anything going.
Yeah, and especially with, Alabama's length on defense and everything, it's pretty
Brock
tough.
Bowers is not even – he wasn't even 100% healthy. He was limping around the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's had an ongoing injury since the beginning of the season. So
Yeah, I believe like midway through the season, he was out a couple games.
Second week.
Second week?
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, he was out for like 3-4 weeks or something.
Yeah.
But, Georgia just folded it. And, the committee was like, the committee definitely just shoved him right out of there, man. Because that was just,
Because they're scared to go against Nick Saban. That's what it all goes
it's a
like comes down to.
It's true. Alabama doesn't get in. There's a lot of controversy, but I think there's more. I think there's more about
FSU.
FSU not getting in. But props to Alabama though, beat the number one team in the country.
I didn't even think Alabama played that great yesterday,
No,
in my opinion.
They didn't.
Their offense was looking shaky.
They didn't. It's just Georgia looked horrible.
They got like 30
Georgia
yards.
did not look like Georgia.
They got like 30 yards in the entire third quarter.
Georgia did not look like Georgia.
And they
It's
would have won if their offense didn't turn the ball over on the 20-yard line. When they were going to do a stupid faker's reverse type thing, and then he fumbled it.
Yes.
He didn't grab the ball, and then
And then Carson Beck having no awareness of that.
I mean, it was. I think it was on the running back's fault, to be honest, because he was supposed to grab it.
Yeah, he's supposed to grab it and then he doesn't grab
He
it.
didn't, and that led to a touchdown, and Georgia lost by 3.
3.
So
27-24.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to turnovers because they turned the ball over twice, and Alabama turned the ball over once. So it shows why they won. But I think if Carson Beck just played a little bit better, they would have won. He's not a good quarterback. Truly, he's not.
Yeah, he was not that impressive.
But then moving on to the FSU Louisville game, it was just really like a defensive game the entire way through.
Yep.
The score was 16-6. Like we mentioned earlier.
What was it halftime? Like 10-6, I think.
10-3.
10-3. Man, Louisville.
Yeah, it was a close game the entire for a good amount of it, and then they kind of pulled away a little bit in the fourth quarter because their defense was just insane. I should not kept flipping back and forth between Michigan and Iowa. You can definitely tell that their quarterback, FSU's quarterback, isn't there, but they're still a solid team. Their defense is good. They're playing their best football right now. They did everything they could.
Yep.
They put themselves in the best position to make the college football playoffs. And you know what? They got flat out robbed by the college football playoff committee, and
now
it's
we're
terrible.
and hopefully FSU will prove it in their bowl game. Most likely, if the committee's doing this right, I would put them against Oregon and then have Ohio State and Georgia go at it again. If you're going for money and you're going for the right matchups, you got to put FSU against Oregon because you had high hopes for Oregon to make the playoffs, and then those are two teams that should have been able to prove themselves to get in.
Yeah.
Oregon folded it.
Yeah, Oregon lost
and FSU just got robbed.
If Oregon beats Washington and Georgia beats Alabama, none of this ever happens.
Nope.
It would just be clean. Georgia number 1, Michigan number 2, and then
Oregon 3.
No, FSU 3.
Or FSU 3, actually.
Then
Yeah.
Oregon 4.
Oregon 4.
Washington would be 5. Texas would be 6.
Bama would be
They
8.
could change. It could flip.
Bama would be
by the
8
way.
though, because those
Bama
are
would
the
be
only
8.
2 lost teams.
Yep. So
So
all of this could have been avoided if just 2 teams won. Honestly,
I think it was real. It really only came down to that one game.
hear me out. Last week, this all could have been put to bed. If Auburn beat Alabama on the 4th and
Yes.
31, the 4th goal from the 31-yard line, all this could have been avoided.
But they would have probably tried to slip in Georgia.
Oh, they would have slipped in Georgia.
They would have put Georgia at the 4 if they would have lost still.
Yeah,
Or they could have kept them out.
they
But
wouldn't have been able to justify putting in a 2-loss Alabama team in.
No.
There's no justifying that.
especially when you lose to Auburn.
Yeah, honestly, it was a mess this weekend.
Yes, it was literally the chaos situation.
And then moving on to Michigan versus Iowa. We're
No,
Michigan-
it
we're
was-
Michigan fans.
It wasn't even close.
As
Start
soon
to
as-
finish.
As soon as Michigan got the field goal, it was a win.
It was a win. They could have.
Did you see the betting odds of over and under half a point scored for Iowa?
Really?
Yeah, and the people who went under on a joking bet made money.
Probably.
And
Actually, yeah.
Iowa's offense is trash.
Oh,
They got the ball past the 50 once, and they didn't actually cross. It was we had a bad punt. It was like at the 40, and then they fumbled. What's it called? I think the coach for Iowa should be fired. I think, but no,
Offensive coordinator
no,
needs to
he's
go.
gone. No, he's gone. He had that thing in his contract where he had to. It was like a 3-year contract thing where he had to average a certain amount of points, and going into this season, he needed to average 25 points per game.
That was not even close. Wasn't even close.
After a halfway point, he would have needed to score like 50 points a game. So, yeah, he he's gone after this.
Jeez, bro, that's so bad.
I think the coach for Iowa, honestly, is pretty overrated. He gets the Big Ten championship most of the time. There's the west side of the Big Ten is terrible.
Next year though is going to prove that the Big Ten West is just shambles. Because all those Pac-12 teams are just going to go in and run it.
Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA, they're going to run it over Illinois, Purdue, Iowa.
They're going to run over all of them.
Because it's always just been whoever wins the Big Ten East is the Big Ten champs. It's never even really contention.
Yeah.
Like the first year that Michigan made the Big Ten championship, and the most recent stretch we had was 2021, and they killed Iowa 42-3.
42-3, yeah.
Then the next year against Purdue, 45-23.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, those were not good teams that should be playing in conference championship games, because Purdue wasn't even ranked. Right? Or I think they were like a 20-something.
No, they weren't even ranked.
That's what I thought. They were like 8-4.
Yeah, they were 8-4.
It's like that's the conference champ. It's the conference championship game. It made no sense. And then Iowa, they were 15, around the 15 thing.
Even 15, this year,
yeah. That's kind of just where they peak out as a program. Occasionally they'll be in the top 10, but they eventually just choke it away.
It's true because you remember that 2021 season. They were on fire. I think they were at the 4, the 3 at one point.
But their defense can't do everything.
Yeah.
Eventually,
defensive coordinator needs to be.
He needs to get that extension. What?
What?
Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, he needs to get that extension.
Yeah, you were about to say defensive coordinator needs to step it up. I'm like,
it needs to
step up and be the head coach.
Step up and be the head coach.
Yeah, honestly, high key, I think that's true. Because the coach for Iowa, he's coached there for 25 years, and what has he really brought them other than some Big Ten championship appearances, some decent seasons? He's just he's peaked out as a coach.
Yes,
he's maximized what he can do.
He's kind of like James Franklin. It's just
James Franklin.
It's just
he's a good recruiter, but
again, he's just peaking out to that losing to Michigan, Ohio State every single year, that 10-2 record every single year. And if he wins a bowl game, he calls it a decent season.
That's just a pretty average season for him.
That's just an average season for him.
Yeah.
And honestly, once you start saying that, it's an average season, that's when it's you either need to step up your game or you're gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird. The Big Ten West should be exciting next year because it won't just have bum teams. Straight up. Yeah. Moving on. Those are all the Power 5 that we just talked about.
Yep.
And honestly, who actually watched the Troy versus the Boise State game? Who watched all that? I didn't. I wasn't paying attention.
Just seeing highlights. Boise State took care of business with their backup quarterback.
Yeah, and the Mountain West was that conference is weak. I mean,
and then
not impressive.
I guess Liberty completing a undefeated season. That was impressive. Sorta. That was on Friday.
It's all right.
But I mean, besides that,
All right. Moving on from all the conference championship games. Who do you think should win the Heisman? Want me to go first?
This one should be easy.
I think so, but I'm going wild card right now.
Uh-oh.
It should be Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels. I don't even care if his team's 9-3. Penix had a bad end of the season. He hasn't played great. The bad end of the season. And Bo Nix lost to Washington Friday.
Yeah.
And that's just going against him. And honestly, Jaden Daniels did have the best season out of everybody. It's just too bad his team wasn't
too
great.
Easily had the best season. By far.
Yep,
almost 5K yards. Almost 50 touchdowns.
49. I think he had 4,900 passing yards, and then
49 touchdowns.
And he had a ton of rushing yards.
Yes.
So all-purpose yards, he had over 5,000.
Yes.
So he should by far win it. I don't think Jalen Milroe should win it.
No, if Jalen Milroe wins it, it's rigged.
He's
completely.
Yeah.
Because his stats are horrible. It's 2,600 yards.
And then Marvin Harrison's not even.
Marvin Harrison, after that Michigan game, he played good and everything, but
he has the odds stacked against him just because he's a receiver.
Yeah.
To be
it'd be tough.
To be a receiver and get it, you have to be on an undefeated team.
Yep.
You need to have an out of this world kind of performance, and you got to return kicks. because like the only like Devontae Smith was like kind of the only exception, but his team went undefeated that year, and he had an out of his mind kind of world, and his quarterback who was having a good year got hurt. So
Just made his resume better.
yeah, and he won the national championship. So like,
So,
I mean,
but again,
but
the
that's
natty doesn't matter just because it's just kind of the cherry on top
It's
because
after.
it happens. Well, it happens on Friday. This Friday's the awards.
Yep, I know. And then a little bit later is
Is the playoffs and stuff.
that's
But I think
that's like the equivalent. That's the perfect season for a receiver.
Mhm.
Having a great year individually.
and as a team
Yeah,
and being just that number one guy on there,
he was on a good Alabama team. So
which Marvin Harrison has all that besides the record.
yep, his team's lost a game. They haven't won a conference championship since he's been on the team. So that kind of plays against him. So who do you think's going to win the Heisman though?
You know, I got to go Michael Penix. You know, he's just done his job to win the games. Of course, he's looked ugly in the middle, but the start and finish, and the finish is really all that matters because if you can close out games as a quarterback, that's all you need. Win by one every single game. Doesn't matter. You know, his team's number 2 in the country. I mean, he's got amazing stats. He's beaten another pretty much Heisman finalist in Bo Nix twice. So I guess him and, you know, a dark horse would be Blake Corum. You know, he's got a crazy amount of touchdowns, but that's just a dark horse. But it's Michael Penix, easy. That's me. That's what I got.
The dark horse is Blake Corum.
It's Blake Corum.
Interesting. As a Michigan fan, I don't agree with that.
Yeah, he's got the touchdowns. You know, maybe, but
He's had a good year, 1,000+ yards and was like 25 touchdowns or something like that.
yeah, 25 touchdowns.
It's crazy. But we'll talk about that later in the episode.
Uh-huh.
Now moving on to the NBA, and you know we haven't really been talking about the NBA too much lately because the hype's just been all around college football.
And NFL, and, you know, a
It's
little bit of
really been around
sprinkle
college
of-
football.
and college football's at the top right now.
It's not even close.
This is the peak of their year right here.
Yep. Especially this year, it's been crazy.
It's been wild.
But talk about our hometown team, the Detroit Pistons. They're on, I think, a 16-game losing streak or like 15,
16.
and they're 2-18.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Jeez.
dude, they're honestly they should be a better team than what they are.
Oh, absolutely.
Why the hell are we benching Jaden Ivey for Killian Hayes?
Okay. Hold on.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hold on. Listen.
Are you saying we're trying to tank to get rid of Killian?
No. The narrative is finally changing. Okay, he is out the starting lineup. I will say that. The past 3 games, it's been Jaden Ivey
I'm
starting.
talking about why for the first 15 games we played, why was he in the starting lineup?
I don't know. And I think the only reason was because of his ball movement. The way that he moved the ball and got Cade the basketball, that was the only way he was in the starting lineup. But obviously, it hasn't worked. You're 2-13. You got to make a change. That was the change. I mean, it should have been the start of the season, but you know, of course, Monty. I don't know what he's seen on film. I don't know if he's just trying to give Killian his last shot in the NBA. I don't know what he's trying to do.
Killian is horrible.
Yeah,
He's a turnover machine.
yes.
Because I remember I was watching one basketball game at Buffalo Wild Wings. This dude had 10 turnovers in 3 quarters.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Every single time I looked up after eating a wing, I was like, "Oh, turnover!" Went back to my rings. It was horrible.
Killian Hayes going 82-0.
82-0 for the other team.
Yeah, 82-0 for.
Terrible. I mean, I don't even know what he's like. Why he's in the league anymore? Why the Pistons ever drafted him? It's stupid.
I don't know. At max, you know, of course, there's been evidence of this, of the Pistons, like players going to other teams. And let's just say the Pistons just, like, it just doesn't make sense. Corey Joseph going to the Warriors, for example.
Chris Middleton going to the
Buddy
Bucks.
is a 3rd string at max. Who else?
I know Chris
Who are you
Middleton's done pretty good.
Chris Middleton's done pretty good. But, like,
Oh,
I'm talking like
done
guys
that.
who are actually playing for us that go to other teams.
Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson
He's just kind of been all right.
at max role player.
He's not a star player like he was.
I just
Andre Drummond has not done much.
oh my god, Andre Drummond.
He gets like good amount of rebounds, but that's just pretty much all he does.
That's all he does. Rebounds and blocking.
Not even golf. Not even goof. He's not even good enough for the G League.
Yes. Yeah, he's at best a decent player in the G League. It's
The
horrible.
only reason he still has a spot is because he's a first round lottery pick, so they're trying to keep take a chance, keep.
Well, they're trying to keep the chance because his contract's cheap.
They're hoping that he's still
They're hoping that he
Can be
peaks
good.
out.
They're hoping he can get good.
They're hoping that he peaks in one of his 5
I
years.
was trying to say it in a more cool way of saying it, but there's just no way to say it. They're trying to hope he gets good.
Yes.
Hope he develops into being a decent player. Not even a good
Because his
player, just a
contract's
decent
cheap.
player.
Once his contract's up, though, he's out the
Yeah,
door.
'cause
It's not even
contract.
close. It's not even a contest. As the day his contract ends, I'm shaking his hand. I'm saying, "Son, you've been waived."
No, the Pistons are going to keep him. It's just so
God.
stupid.
That'd be so bad.
I think that the only problem with the Pistons right now is they're just a young team.
They need more experience. And Bogdan is making his return. I don't know if it's soon. It's in the next couple games.
Yeah, but the last few games, the starting five has been Cade, Jaden Ivey, Sar Thompson, Stewart, and what's it?
Duran,
Duran. Yeah, I just mixed up on his name.
all under 3 years of experience.
Stewart's the oldest one out of all of them.
Yes,
We got
Stewart has the most experience.
Jalen
Jesus.
Duran, who's 20 years old.
Yep.
Jaden Ivey, who's 20 years old. Cade
Mhm.
Cunningham, who's 21.
Yeah, he's 21.
22. Yeah. Sar Thompson's 19.
So technically, Cade is the oldest, but Stewart has the most experience.
Yeah.
That is horrible.
So I think the average age of our team, of our starting lineup, is 20, low 20s. These guys are 3 years older than us.
I mean, the thing is, there's a difference between doing a rebuild right and doing it wrong. The Pistons are kind of trending towards that wrong,
I think they're doing it right. Here's my reason.
but they're sticking it out.
All their guys
all you
are-
gotta do is stick it out.
All their guys are getting better.
Yep.
Jaden Ivey's got nothing but better. Cade's still being good.
Yep.
Sar Thompson's
He's
honestly
doing
impressed me.
fantastic.
His
Yes,
defense is crazy.
yes. And
Hey, I was.
I don't want to say anything,
no, hey,
but
I'll
a guy
admit, I was wrong.
a guy was hating on
Hey
him.
man,
I tried telling you, but
I'm not gonna say I was hating on him. 'Cause I wanted him to work out, but I just didn't think it was the right pick.
no, it was just.
I wanted.
But you've seen
Cam
Anthony.
Whitmore.
I hope you've seen Anthony Black play basketball. No, he's been
He's trash.
he's been mid. He's been mid.
Cam Whitmore though.
Been mid. Cam
He's been
Whitmore's been
pretty
doing. Cam Whitmore's been doing okay.
He's been doing solid. I mean, I'm happy with it.
Yeah,
So,
but Asar does everything defensively and sort of offensively.
just call
so-
guys thoughts on Fort. OG season's great, but now that's gone.
Yeah,
It's gonna come back.
yeah. I played the season. Played one game today. Jesus, it's a whole different game from
I
yesterday.
haven't played it, dude.
It's a whole different game from yesterday. There's mods and garbage, but whatever.
Back to sports.
Yeah, back to
But hey, I'm happy. I'm
Channels,
happy.
man.
I'm wrong about Sorry Thompson. I'll be completely honest. I was wrong. I missed on it, but you know what? I'm happy I missed on it.
That's true.
I'm
And
okay with it.
we got the better of the two brothers as well. Amen is
He's
just
been injury prone. He's been kind of.
Amen is something. Amen
He's shaky.
Amen has a high ego. I'll tell you that.
He's
I don't
shaky
know.
with his play.
I don't know what they do in Houston,
Well, dude, hear
but
me
they
out.
must boost their ego completely.
Hear me out. Jalen Green was 19 when he got in the league.
Yep.
He was the best player on the Rockets, and he wasn't even that good.
Yeah.
So he's had an ego, as in you go to another team, the veterans kind of pick on you.
Yeah, and then
You know,
even
the
Jabari,
Dude,
Jabari Smith,
they've done nothing.
he's a guy who's supposed to be number one pick that year. He falls to 3, and just somehow, I don't know, the Houston players just keep getting this ego in their first
Like I
year.
said, there's no veteran to put him in their place.
Yeah.
Every good player now talks about how a veteran did something to make rookie Hayes.
To just get them
I'll
going.
I'll give this example. Paul George, when he was a rookie for the Pacers, was just taking a lot of threes because he wasn't making them.
Mhm.
He was what's his name? No, I'm actually it's gonna piss me off. I don't remember his name.
Reggie.
No, not Reggie Miller. Granger.
Okay.
So he was a good player,
Mhm.
and he straight told Paul George the reason they're leaving him open is because he can't shoot. And then
Well, he said you're open for a reason.
yeah,
There's
Pretty
a reason
much.
you're open.
and then that got Paul George to become a better shooter because that's all he worked on. Stuff like that. The Rockets don't have any of that because they're best. They don't have a leader on the team.
Well, that's kind of the same situation for the Pistons. Now, of course, the ego's not there.
Hear me out though. Hear me out. They have
But-
veterans on that team though.
That's true. It's
Bogdanovich.
like, yeah, it's starting to.
He's a relatively old player.
He's decent too. He's not terrible.
He's a solid player. But we actually got a good coach, in my opinion. And when you watch the Pistons play, it's not ISO ball. When you watch the Rockets play, it is ISO ball.
It is ISO ball.
It's whoever gets the ball is shooting it.
I told you it's
ISO, get in the
Yeah.
corners.
That's why Jalen Green averages 25 points a game on like 40 shots, 30 shots.
Yeah, shoots like 20%.
It's crazy.
It's not good.
It's absolutely ridiculous. And if that Rockets team was coached better, now of course that old Celtics guy, it's just you could just tell that the Celtics roster made him good. But having Fred VanVleet there, having Dylan Brooks hopefully does something. But
Dylan Brooks is just
I highly doubt it does anything because Dylan Brooks has the highest ego in the NBA.
yeah, it's just put a bunch of bad egos on one team. And
Yes.
just see what happens. It's just a dumpster fire.
It's so bad.
Moving on to more of a positive note, Orlando Magic have surprised everybody. They're second in the conference.
Talk about hooping.
What are they? 14-4, I think.
14-6, I believe.
Something like that. Something good. And they are
Second in the East, behind the Celtics.
Celtics are a great team.
Celtics are awesome this year, though, because Porzingis has been awesome.
Yep. And all I'm gonna say is I'm impressed.
You want me to read that comment? Do you see it?
Dylan Brooks and Villanova are going to lead Houston to the finals. Not wrong. Watch Dylan Brooks cook. He's going to drop his 50 points per game for the rest of the year.
With his broke jumper. Jesus, bro, is one of the most broke jumpers I've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm happy for the Orlando Magic. Paolo Banchero's playing good. He's getting almost a triple.
Yeah,
like he's
Paolo
getting close.
Banchero.
He's getting close to triple doubles a game. Like
Oh yeah, awesome.
the other
And
day,
then,
like last time, he just missed it.
Michigan guy that's
Franz Wagner.
that is awesome for them is Franz. Holy
Don't forget
crap.
about his brother Mo though. His brother Mo's got a nice.
Mo's doing his
job.
job. Mo's
He's
doing
getting
his
double
job.
doubles per
Yep.
game, averaging 12 points and 12 rebounds.
They got something cooking there.
And
You know,
Cole Anthony.
Yep.
Can't forget about Cole Anthony. He's a
Cole
dog.
Anthony and Jalen Suggs is finally coming into his own.
Yep.
That's what I think the Pistons are hoping happens with Killian.
That's
But
that's
highly-
that's
but
a completely different story.
But
dude.
Jalen Suggs is athletic, had a college career, was awesome in college, versus Killian just played in France and dropped 10 points a game.
Jalen Suggs had a good year. The 1 year he went there. With the
Still.
Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Like, hear me out. You can't compare Jalen Suggs and Killian France. Killian Hayes.
It's just they're from the same draft class, and as like a Pistons guy, you're like, oh, all these other guards from the class are popping off. Maybe Killian has a little spark in him like that. No, absolutely not. If I could just be in that front office for one day, the first thing I'm doing is cutting Killian Hayes. I don't care what else happens.
I wish we could rewind it and get Tyrese Halliburton
I wish we could
or
rewind
Tyrese
it and
Maxey.
get Maxey, Halliburton, maybe trade back, get some picks. Because the next couple drafts are pretty darn good with Cade and all that. Oh,
Sadly.
Jesus.
We did get the first overall pick the next year, but
But still,
we got
to get another piece alongside Cade in that draft would have been awesome.
It's been a waste of all of our time watching Killian Hayes play for the Pistons. To be completely honest here. But yeah, shout out to the Magic. They're popping off right now.
Yes, the Magic deserve
I'm
their
happy.
props.
Bo's finding his role.
Sorry, just
Single quarter.
the lines popping off a little bit here. Finally getting a good drive. Game got close, 24-21.
Yeah. So I say we should give our moving back, like moving to the NFL now. Actually, no. Staying with the NBA now.
Okay.
Dallas Mavericks yesterday went on a 30-0 run in 6 minutes against the Thunder. All I'm gonna say is that's crazy. Anybody who's ever played basketball, it's tough to score. Like to get on good runs. That is a crazy run.
It's tough to give up 0 points in that entire run.
In 6 full minutes, they give up 0 points. That's the equivalency of not missing a shot.
Yes.
That's not like I
Unreal.
just felt we had to shout them out, but that was crazy.
It was 111-81.
Yep.
That is a huge margin. As like a Thunder fan, like if you were a Thunder fan, you are turning off that TV.
No,
As soon as
that
that
30 run
happens.
lost in the games. They lost
Yes.
by 30.
Yes.
Specifically 30.
They lost by 30?
If it was 111-81, that's 30 points.
Oh yeah.
So that 30 run did it. So this was the 30 run.
Oh, actually, then it was 87, whatever. 111-87, but still, that is horrific. 24-point lead, just gone.
crazy.
Gone. And the thing is, This is not a bad team. This
No,
is the
Thunder.
Oklahoma City Thunder. Like
Thunder
they
got
are not
Shea
bad.
Gilgeous-Alexander.
They got a lot of young
Do we
talent
mention
around
Josh
them.
Giddey?
Mm,
Do we mention Josh Giddey?
I mean, he's playing basketball right now,
I
so
mean-
I guess we have to. I guess we got to kind of.
Josh Giddey, he's an interesting guy. I'll just leave it at that. Let's talk about underage kids.
He's got some problems right now. But we'll leave
So
it at
messed
that.
up, bro.
We'll leave it at that. But the Thunder, I mean, they're a young, talented team. They are not a bunch of nobodies.
Josh Giddey's young. He probably won't,
And Shea is proving that he could possibly be an MVP this year. Chet is possibly Rookie of the Year, which I don't really get that part. You know, when they said that he's in the running for Rookie of the Year, I don't
he doesn't play. He didn't play his rookie year.
which I don't know.
It's the same
I
thing
don't
with
know
Ben
if that makes
Simmons.
sense.
Same thing with Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons wasn't actually a technically
Dude
a rookie.
stole that from Donovan Mitchell.
Mhm.
Stole it, literally fleeced it. Man, Donovan should have won that.
Yeah,
year, dude.
it's kind of funny, but also not. It's like, that's,
But if you're Donovan Mitchell, you're pissed about that. Be honest.
I want to talk about this college football player now.
Like, can we just see this play real quick?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. It's 4th and 4 for the Lions. They're going for it. Or maybe they're not. They're not.
Might just try to draw him offside. We don't Dan Campbell's going to go for it. No, they're not. Yeah.
I know. Ah.
Yeah. Anyways, Blake Horn tying Michigan's most touchdowns in school history. He can break that. He's got one more. He's got at least one more game left to do. I think he's got 2 more games left to break that. Because they're going to beat Alabama.
That's the hope. That's the hope, yes.
But yeah. Shout out to Blake Horn. He's
I think Corum will probably get it on like the first 3 drives in Alabama game.
Yeah.
Michigan's going to get a goal line thing. They always do every single game.
I mean, and he also broke most consecutive games with 2 or more touchdowns. He had 5. He broke Chris Perry's record from 2002-2003 season.
And that is a
Chris
solid player.
Bro, Chris Perry's a dog, except for the
Yep.
NFL. He wasn't too good, but he was a really good college player.
Wow.
Single-handedly beat Ohio State in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
He's crazy.
Yep.
Blake Horn popped off, and he also got past the 1,000-yard mark yesterday. I mean, he balled out. He did what he was supposed to do, and
Like I said, could be a dark horse.
I don't know about that.
just messing.
But you know, Derrick Henry did it, right? He had like 2,000 yards.
Oh,
And he
Derrick
had-
Henry. Derrick Henry's season was unreal.
So yeah,
2K, like
no, that's legit. You have to have like a
20 touchdowns.
Adrian Peterson, Derrick Henry kind of year to break.
Yes.
Like, it's
Derrick Henry year at Alabama was.
No, bro, he was nasty.
As soon as he got the ball, he got 5 yards down the field. You were not stopping
No,
that.
dude,
It was a freight train.
Dude, he was like actually a dog in college. Like, he's been great in the NFL and all, but he was a monster in college.
And you know, it's showing its flashes in the NFL. Like it's not like he just faded away.
But no, like I remember I was a casual like football fan. You know, and I was like, it was 2013. I think it was when he just ran all over Michigan State. I remember watching that on New Year's at my
Yeah,
grandpa's house.
2015, I believe.
Something like that, dude.
It was that
crazy.
31-0 game, right? Because he went stupid.
I remember all the Michigan State fans at school were talking about how great they were, and I was watching Derrick Henry go up and they just running,
Just running over people, dude.
I just remember it was terrible, man. Michigan State crossed the 50-yard line once, and I was like, oh, they might have a chance to get some points here, and they threw a pick. I just remember like, dang, I sucked to be a Michigan State fan like during that. Like,
And most of that game was just Alabama handing it off to their 6'4", 200-plus run.
250, bro. 250.
Dude,
for
it's
sure.
ridiculous.
He runs.
He's a cheat code.
He's quick too.
He's
Now he's
quick.
like slow.
Yeah, because, you've seen that clip
like-
of the 99-yard touchdown
he's
against
like-
Jacksonville.
He's
At
fast.
that speed.
He's like fast Jerome Bettis, dude.
Yes, that's scary.
I also want to talk about Michigan. I gotta get a little rant on Michigan State here. All the Michigan State fans talking trash about Michigan. You know, about the last 2
What
years
are
in
they
the college
talking,
playoffs.
they're talking about?
There's some guys on my 6 hour.
Oh, okay.
You guys know who you guys are. You guys always want to talk about how Michigan loses in the college football playoffs.
I told you, man.
How-
This is Michigan's year to do it. They
What
gotta
happened
do
when,
it.
what
They
happened
gotta
when
do
you
it.
guys made it in 2015?
2015.
Oh wait, 31-0, and you guys passed the 50-yard line once. You guys want to talk about like just previous teams? You don't want to do that.
No.
Want to talk about Heisman's? Michigan's got them in that. Michigan literally has Michigan State's number in everything.
It's
It's not even close. And then they always want to talk about, well, that's in the past. So you just so because it happened in the past, it just means it didn't exist.
So fumble the snaps in the past.
Oh, that's all they thought was fumble,
that's in
snap,
the
and Kenneth
past.
Walker's 5 touchdowns.
That's in the past, but that's in the past, Jack.
Hey man, it's honestly it sucks having Kenneth Walker. It must have sucked having Kenneth Walker as a running back because they didn't make the college football playoffs. He didn't win the Heisman.
Nope.
And he's the reason that Mel Tucker got got hired for an extension for $95
And he
million.
didn't even play in the Peach Bowl.
Nope.
So there was really no point besides getting a contract with Mel Tucker.
Yep.
That is not good deeds.
He made Michigan State look good for a year, and as soon as he left, Michigan State sucked. And it makes no sense. Why do they talk so much?
It's mind-boggling.
Dude, it's like you guys want to talk about like your guys' wins. I mean, beat you 42-0 this year. Last year was like what 20-something to 0. I don't even remember. It just wasn't close.
It was not close.
They got a late touchdown. Shoot, that's so much I don't remember.
I actually don't even remember last
You
year.
were literally at the game, dude. You don't remember that shit.
I don't know. Oh wait, I have a picture of it. I posted it
He did meet MMG.
because I did meet MMG in that game.
Matthew Maher.
It's the only thing we cared about. Me and Matt going to that game.
Yeah.
We were like, Matt was like, I don't even care about Michigan State, bro. We met MMG. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, that was awesome. That was awesome. That was fun.
What a game. What a power college Michigan State is on the
Jesus.
football spectrum.
And basketball, man, they need to lock
Well,
in.
not bad. They have like a good basketball history. I'll give them the credit.
Basketball
credit
coach.
too.
But as of right now, team needs to lock in. Holy crap.
Yeah.
3-3, and you got that much expectation.
Yeah, they're expected to be a top 5 team in the country.
Lions got the ball back. Nice.
Oh, sweet.
I look down, they don't have the ball. They kick it off. I look back up, they got the ball.
Yeah.
Nice.
Moving on to the NFL, though. I want to hear what is your projection on who's give your top 3 MVPs right now. Actually, you want me to go first since I know what I'm going to say.
Okay, yeah, you go first.
Hear
You
me
got
out.
what you got.
Tyreek Hill number 1.
Oh,
Tyreek Hill number 1.
popping off today.
Two touchdowns over 60 yards a day, and he's had a great year all year.
Yep.
Dak Prescott number 2. He's coming along. If he keeps popping off.
I posted that video. You better check it out.
Yeah.
But it was
Dak
a lot of-
Prescott. He's been putting up 40 plus fantasy points a game.
well, fantasy points doesn't matter when it comes to MVP, but
Well,
still,
if you put up 40 plus fantasy points, doesn't mean you're not putting up good
yeah, it
stats.
means you're putting up good stats.
And he's thrown for 4 touchdowns the last however many weeks.
3-4 weeks.
Yep.
It's
And then-
impressive.
Number 3, I got Christian McCaffrey.
Dude deserves his props. I wouldn't blame
He
you.
gets a touchdown every single game. I think those are a good top 3. And yeah.
Yeah, top 3. At the 3 spot, I got Jalen Hurts. Listen, this guy deserves his props. Whatever happens today, it could just improve his stock.
They've only lost 1 game all year.
Only lost 1 game. He's been a little bit struggle bus, but again, it's kind of based on team performance. Just because of
Bills has been
Mahomes.
popping off, dude.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean,
Bills
the
popped off.
Bills, he was awesome. Got the game-winning touchdown and everything. It was awesome. But at the 2 spot,
Jalen on a reverse.
that's explosive
Touchdown.
speed. And, he's
Touchdown,
just going to
Jameson
jump
Williams. It's a beautiful reverse.
in. He's got speed, man. Holy crap.
What you're talking about? What you're talking about?
Oh,
Off camera cheese. Oh my god.
JMO's celebration just now was
Yeah.
interesting. But back to what I was saying. MVPs. Tyreek Hill. I got Tyreek Hill at 2. His stats are amazing this year. If he breaks that Calvin Johnson record, easily MVP. I think he absolutely deserves it.
Did Calvin Johnson win the MVP when he got that record though? No.
But Tyreek Hill should win it this year if he gets it. Because the Dolphins are solid.
Oh man,
They're doing good.
If Prescott keeps what he's doing up though, he could honestly win it because
That's true.
their team's good too.
Because their team's putting on a show.
All the top 3 guys we're talking about are all on good teams. 49ers are good. Cowboys are good.
Yeah, and then
Eagles are good.
you know who I got at number 1. I got CMC at number 1.
Yeah.
CMC deserves his. He's only scored not scored a touchdown in 1 game this year. That is crazy. Hold
Lions
on,
over
let's
2.
see this. Lions.
Deflected, intended for
Absolutely horrible
Wow.
pass, but that's okay. Christian McCaffrey deserves his props. Number one in my MVP race so far. He's only scored a touchdown and not scored a touchdown in one game. That's pretty darn impressive to get into the end zone every single game. And Kyle Shanahan was trying to get him into the end zone that one game he didn't score too. So he deserves every prop. 16 touchdowns so far.
Yeah.
And just his, when they say most valuable player,
Yeah.
I think he's the most valuable player to that Niners. That was one of the best trades the Niners have done.
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, the consensus top three, I don't even care what order you put it in, is CMC, Dak, and Tyreek, in my personal opinion.
I don't think Dak's won yet, just because he's had 4 good games in a row.
I didn't say.
Whereas Tyreek and CMC have had.
I said he's got to at least be in the top 3 conversation.
But yeah, he's got to at least be in the top 3.
Did you put Jalen Hurts in the 3 though?
I put 3. I put Jalen Hurts in 3.
Dak's
Dak's like 4 or 5 right now, just because of his 4-game stretch. Don't mean nothing.
Okay.
I mean, it means some, but it don't mean nothing. You know what I mean?
You just agree with me by you're like, yeah, dude, Dak's got to be in the top 3, and then I just call it like you're like, no, he's number 4 or 5.
He's 4 or 5.
Dude, honestly, he's been playing better than Jalen Hurts.
He's been playing better than Jalen Hurts, but the teams, Jalen Hurts beat him in that duel. Just saying.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts has the hand right now so far. Now, if Jalen Hurts,
I mean, Prescott's been playing.
If Prescott keeps this up,
Prescott's been playing better than him. I don't care.
Straight
up. They're gonna play the Eagles again, so see what happens there.
We'll see what happens there.
It wasn't just like a big blowout the Eagles had. It was pretty close.
It's pretty close.
So yeah, I'm gonna give that. I have Prescott as the best quarterback right now in the MVP vote. Going into talking about another quarterback though. Justin Herbert, man. I know everybody's seen the clips of Quentin Johnson dropping passes. Keenan Allen literally getting hit in the chest and bouncing right off the shoulder pads.
Yep.
He needs to get out of LA. The question was, should he leave LA? Yes. They're horrible.
Yeah, the 4-7. The coach is
Terrible. Staley
is
is
not
trash.
taking any ownership at all.
He's not taking any he's just not taking any blame. It's just all on the team.
It's just like, yeah, our defense is okay, our offense is okay. We're just not doing stuff right. Sort of.
I think it all should fall back on the coach because he is
Absolutely.
terrible.
As soon as a reporter called him out on it, you seen his reaction.
Yeah, flabbergasted.
Well, first of all, he was like, "Whoa," and then he just went off on the reporter.
He's like, "Want to not call?" He's like, "Got it clear?" So you don't ask a question again.
Yeah,
it's a pretty valid question.
it's a good question. You're 4-6.
Probably be 5-7 because they're playing the Patriots, but
well, I was saying when the question was asked, they were 4.
Oh.
I think they were 4-6.
No,
right?
it just happened after.
Oh, they were 4-7. But it's one of the right questions.
Hey man, they get paid to ask questions. I mean, you got to know that when you're going into play professional sports in general.
And you got to have a little bit of balls to ask that question, but still,
I mean, it's a pretty relevant question though.
it is
The
the past couple of years he's had on paper a roster that could easily beat the Chiefs, and all of a sudden you get railed by the Chiefs every single year. I know that
he's had Derwin James on defense, Joey Bosa on defense, Khalil Mack on defense.
they signed Chris Harris, who was a solid corner.
And you got on offense, you got Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Got hurt. And then you have Slater on the offensive line.
Yeah, the line's not even horrible.
So how do you have all that and you just lose?
Yeah, it all falls back on the coach. When you have that much talent, there are some teams even the Lions on paper rosters. If you look before the season, you would maybe say the Chargers would win that game. Maybe.
I disagree.
Maybe before the season
I
on
still
paper,
disagree.
Roster to roster,
I still disagree.
you might.
I still disagree.
You might. Now, of course,
Lions got the
maybe you won't.
Lions got the running back depth on them, and then honestly, they had a very underrated wide receiver core.
It's true. But on paper, who would you take?
Lions
receiver core
Lions.
over the Chargers receiving core.
Before Mike Williams got hurt?
Before Mike Williams got hurt.
Oh, sure.
Because this
Chargers.
is
But hear me
yeah,
out.
exactly.
Hear me out, though. Johnson sucks. It's trash.
Yes, I know.
Dude can't catch a cold.
Yeah,
Put me out
no.
there, I'll probably catch something more than him. And then Michael Williams gets hurt. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen's been great, but he's only one guy. And then our tight ends are just way better than the Chargers.
It's true.
It's
They
close.
do have the upper hand. on
Our
the
offensive
that
line
tight
is
end.
way better,
That's true.
so at least we can protect our quarterback and running backs, etc.
Herbert's a top QB in the league.
And our
though.
coaches are way better than the Chargers coaches.
I mean, it's pretty evident
Staley's
there.
trash.
It's evident there.
And then our defense is, other than Derwin James, Chris Harris, Joey Bosa, and Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack's not what he used to be. So I mean, he's still good, but he's not what he used to be. We have Aiden Hutchinson,
Mhm.
monster.
Yep.
Especially if we're looking on paper, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cameron Sutton,
Mm-hmm.
Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch. That's a good team. Even though injuries have kind of played a part, and I still would take Lions any day over the Chargers.
Okay. But it's just, the Chargers roster on paper, like going back to the main point,
They have
amazing talent,
they have star players.
and they should be playoff contenders almost every single year.
They have star players, but they just don't put it all together. That's really just what happened at the end of the day.
It just falls back to square one.
Lions have way more depth
Staley.
on their team, and the Chargers don't. Simple. Going to our last topic, though, going back to the college, we're going to give our predictions for how we think it's going to go. Want me to go first? All
You go first, Lenny.
right. Michigan, Alabama game. Give me Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
31
final
to
score?
21.
Okay.
And then Texas versus Washington.
That's going to be a
Give
shootout.
me Texas 38 to 35.
Okay.
And then
like
against
that.
Michigan versus Texas, give me Michigan.
Winning the natty.
Give me Michigan
my
42 to 28.
Jesus.
I got Michigan winning it all.
Yeah, Michigan winning it all.
Mhm.
I got
I got confidence.
Of course.
I got confidence in our team.
this college football playoff doesn't feel like it should be difficult for Michigan. But I think, the first one's a dogfight. I think, Michigan and Alabama, I think it's, Michigan's defense, the offense, I'd say it's 31-28. I'd say it's close. It's a dogfight. Alabama's kind of hitting their peak a little bit, just coming off that Georgia win.
Yeah.
They got some confidence. But Michigan's going to pull it out in the end just because they're the more talented team.
They just,
Then,
in my opinion, I think they have more depth.
yeah,
I think they have more depth.
overall. But Washington, Texas, it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be a largely scoring game. I think it's 45-38 final score. I think Texas takes it home. It's a shootout. Michael Penix, though, just kind of folds in the end. Like, doesn't get it done this week. And, that Washington defense is just gonna be a killer. I feel like Michael Penix is gonna be playing from behind most of that game, and he's just not gonna be just won't be able to do it. And then Michigan versus Texas, I got Michigan. Just way more talented. The defense is, on paper, the best in the country. So that should be able to slow down that explosive Texas offense. And the Texas defense is good, but Michigan's run game is just too hard to stop. And then once they pile up the box, they go to the pass game, and that's when Michigan finally runs them over. I got 42, we'll say 42-31 final score.
That's all the topics we got.
That's all the topics we got.
Yep. Let's make sure that you guys have it. Check out all our other videos. Like the stream. Follow us on other social medias. X, TikTok, Instagram, all that. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. It's been a fun hour-long stream per usual. Good little hour.
Good little hour.
Clocking in and clocking out.
Yep. It's the All American Family Boys, and we are signing off episode 18.